Welcome back to Hard4Games, everybody. I'm your host, Tony, and in our last Zelda videos, we showed off early beta maps of Kokiri Forest and a restored beta dungeon that went unused in the retail version of the game. Well, Z64Me, aka Dr.Disco, is at it again and has restored a bunch of very early Zelda 64 enemies. So this mod places the enemies in the FST Dan Dungeon Restoration. Their placements are set to mimic early screenshots and trailers, but it's not meant to be taken as a one-to-one restoration of what the dungeon would have been like in terms of enemy placement. Note that he also modded Link's appearance to better match his original look, and added some flourishes to the dungeon itself. Now the enemies here have been almost fully restored. Their models, their textures, their animations are all back, but their AI is missing. So basically, all of the enemies are brain-dead, reanimated zombies, if you will. So, Dr.Disco has applied the AI of their retail counterparts. It's amazing work. It's not 100% restored, but it's damn near the best thing we're gonna get. And that might actually be a good thing too, because if you look at some of the early footage, the enemies were, you know, they were rudimentary. Here's a stalphos just sort of gliding across the ground. Next up we have the Iron Knuckle, and I've always loved the way that this looked. Very imposing, but simultaneously very colorful. I feel like as Zelda 64 transitioned into Ocarina of Time, a lot of the colors were toned down and very muted. They became less cartoonish, for better or for worse. So apparently in the Gigaleak, for some reason the Iron Knuckle had two left hands and therefore two shields, so some work had to be done to get his sword back. Next up we have the early Floor Masters, and gotta love the strange, colorful look they have in this early version. So these here are not beta enemies. They're kind of beta enemies. They're a unique flourish that Z64Me added to the mod. They're the early Iron Knuckles, colored green, and then placed over spear moblins. But the moblin AI he used was a beta non-retail version. So they're sort of this weird, strange hybrid that he just kind of added in for fun. The early AI may explain why they don't actually follow me around and are generally pretty dumb. But then again, the spear moblins in the retail game are generally in sort of corridor-type spaces. They go forward, then they go back, and they're not particularly intelligent there either. Well, that's it for today. A short and sweet video, but if you enjoyed it, and maybe you want to play this yourself, check out Dr. Disco's YouTube and the Z64Me website. Links in the description below. Other than that, thank you all for watching, subscribing, joining us on Patreon, and we'll see y'all next time.